All right, Mike, thank you. Just weeks after a traffic stop by a former University of Cincinnati police officer ended with the shooting death of an unarmed man, there are now new statewide standards for the use of deadly force across Ohio. A body camera catch the shooting of Samuel DuBose, and Ray Tenzing is now charged with his murder. The standards say officers can only use deadly force to defend themselves or others from death or serious injury. NBC4 reporter Ted Hart is live at Columbus Police Headquarters with more on what kind of impact these standards will have, and they are different than the old standards, Ted.
Well, there were no old statewide standards, but these new standards will go out to all law enforcement agencies across the state. Many police agencies had their own policies, including the Columbus Police Department had their own policies already in place. But these state standards will set a baseline for officers in those real-life shoot, don't shoot scenarios. Use of deadly force training became reality for Westerville police officer David Leidy in November of 2013.
Put your hands up! Put your hands up!
The driver in what started out as a routine traffic stop had pulled a gun.
Put him up! Put him up! Put him up!
The suspect's gun was loaded and in his hand. He pointed it at the officer and then tried to get out of the car. He was killed. The officer was uninjured. Most police departments have written policy on the use of deadly force, but today, for the first time, a community police advisory wide standards that say officers can only use deadly force when they believe it's needed to defend themselves or others from serious injury or death.
But what we're really after is trying to raise the bar so those agencies that don't have these policy statements or those other elements are able to have a good guidepost of where they need to be.
Often police-involved shootings are murky, like the case of 12-year-old Tamir Rice in Cleveland, holding an airsoft pistol, shot dead by a Cleveland police officer. A separate task force has led to an increase in training requirements for police, and the issue of body cameras is now quickly gaining momentum.
The technology is there, citizens are crying for it, and the camera is an unbiased witness for both the community and for the law enforcement officer, so it protects both, because it doesn't take a side, it is the right side.
And the board today also adopted standards for non-deadly use of force and standards for police recruiting and hiring with a goal toward a qualified and diverse workforce. Live at CPD headquarters, Ted Hart, NBC4.
Thank you, Ted.